chatting about the Bruins and anything hockey related.
Who do you think is the shining star of the young kids right now for you? Who stands out the most? Who do you think is going to be the kid by the end of the year that is just going to be, you are going to be a stud?
Oh, man.
I know who mine is, and I'm going to leave the obvious one out.
Yeah, I probably know who you're thinking of. I would break it down by position. So forward, defense.
Okay, so
if
you go forward.
A kid to me that stands out the most is Danton Heinen.
Okay. I'm a little different than you. I'm going Jake DeBrusk.
See, he was almost on the fence.
Jake DeBrusk is standing out to me. Just by the way he's playing, he's getting into the dirty areas. He's getting his stick on that puck. He's getting those shots off that you wouldn't think that he'd be able to get off. That puck is getting on the net when he is there.
And he had a fight in the Islanders game.
Exactly. He's doing everything.
Yep.
I can see why you picked Danton Heinen. Why Danton Heinen, though? Tell me.
Danton Heinen, I've liked the way he's moved the puck, a good two-way guy. He played really well while Marchand was out, playing with Bergeron, scoring goals. Cassie's not afraid to use him on the power play. Mm-hmm. He's been playing mostly with Backes now since Backes has been back. Backes, Nash, Heinen, they've looked really good together. Good speed.
So you got Heinen more as a two-way guy. He's developing into a two-way. I see
DeBrusk is more of a shooter.
DeBrusk is becoming more of a power forward for me.
Probably, yeah, that's a good mix.
I'm seeing him more as a power forward.
I would say that, but he probably has better speed than your average forward, like, say, a Lucic or a Backes.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a better skilled skater, but he can definitely shoot the puck. Now, defensively, who would you pick defensively that's been sticking out to you?
The obvious would be Charlie McAvoy.
Right. That's the obvious choice.
We saw that last year. If I'm not going obvious, I have to say Grizzlick.
Yep.
Grizzlick. I can't say his name.
Grzelcyk. I would say Matt Grzelcyk, hands down. He's looked really good filling in for McQuaid on and off. I think we've seen Rob O'Gara come through. Paul Postman has played on and off. Obviously, Grzelcyk has stuck because he's played probably the most out of those guys rotating.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to jump up into the play, shoots the puck, not afraid to take shots.
My biggest disappointment on defense with the young kids has got to be Brandon Carlo.
He's been very quiet.
Krug
has stepped up. Chara has played okay.
Krug is a liability. He gives up the puck an awful lot.
Yeah.
But he also creates offense.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of balances out his screw-ups. But then,
especially more so on the power play.
Right. So, my offensive disappointment,
besides Matt Pileski,
I actually have to look at this, to be honest with you, because honestly,
well, I would say my biggest disappointment out of the forward group. This kind of I can't really nail it down because the young kids have sort of performed.
I would say Anders Bjork, but he hasn't played much to really.
Right, he's had some injuries. He's been bouncing between the second.
And then you got Noel Acciari, but I don't want to even put him in that thing because he had a goal last night.
Well, he had a goal last night, and he hasn't. Again, he was injured to start the year.
And you got Sean Corrali.
Yeah,
he's been quiet. If you really want to narrow it down, he's the quietest one.
That's probably true.
But there's really been no one player that's a disappointment.
No, I wouldn't say a disappointment, just maybe underperforming by this point. I probably would put David Backes on that.
I'm talking about with the kids, though. I'm not saying...
the kids.
I'm not saying the...
Yeah, I would probably throw Corrali. Acciari. Yeah, I'd probably throw those guys in that mix. Nash has played well.
What about Vetrano?
He's been mainly a scratch depth guy, so I can't really throw him in.
Right.
I would almost like to see them send him to Providence, let him play,
Right.
get him games,
Right.
get him skating games, get him back up, say after the All-Star break, something like that, or after Christmas time. But overall, I would still say probably Backus. And I know some people would say, well, he had that major injury, he had the surgery, he came back early from the injury. And, I mean, in that Arizona game last week, 2 goals. So you finally saw him get on the score sheet. But I'd like to see a little more out of Backus. You know what you can get from him when you saw him playing with St. Louis. I want more from him.
Hey everybody, thank you for checking us out here on YouTube. Please subscribe. Please help us by sharing the show too. Get other people involved. Please comment. We'll even use your comments in an episode.
Yeah, please don't be shy. Positive, negative, just leave it down below. Anything you want to see changed. Please also click the links that are down below in the drop down. Facebook, SoundCloud, Twitter. You can email us as well at gmail.com. So we look forward to hearing from you, and please subscribe.